You know, sometimes I just feel like the one on the left is like a little droopy and the one on the right's a little bigger. I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's just hard to find two squashes that are, you know, perfectly symmetrical. They might not be symmetrical, but they taste delicious. Hey guys, it's Elizabeth, the crazy quinoa lady. Today we are classing up the joint with some butternut squash and quinoa. On today's episode of Broke But Skinny, cooking tips and tricks for broke lazy chicks who love to eat but want to look like they don't, we are making some delicious warm butternut squash quinoa salad. I don't know if we're gonna call it a salad, we could call it a medley, or it's just so much better than a salad. What do you think we should call it? I don't know. It's just really good. Basically, it's roasted butternut squash and quinoa all tossed together. We've got some parmesan in there. It's divine. Yay! I'm so excited to share this recipe with you guys. I love this. I make it all the time. Well, not all the time, but I love it. If you saw my stuffed acorn squash video and enjoyed it, then you are definitely gonna love this. This butternut squash quinoa medley makes for an excellent, gorgeous vegetarian entree or side, and it's really impressive on your holiday table. And it feeds a lot of people, so cheers to that. But if you're just making this for one or two people, no worries, just freeze half of it and eat the other half throughout the week. That's what I do. High five. So not only is this super healthy and delicious, but it doesn't cost very much to make. I think I spent maybe $5 or $7 at the most, and it doesn't take that long to make. The only time suck is prepping the butternut squash, so I vote find somebody else to do that. But if that's not an option, here's what you do. You can do this a day or two in advance. It's like a workout, so get ready. First, get a sharp knife, like a grown-up knife. If you only have a paring knife from IKEA, just stop. Don't use a dinky knife. You will injure yourself. You will never make it. And if you do make it, it will take you all day. It's not worth it. Buy it already done and forget about it. Otherwise, grab a sharp chef's knife or another knife that's sturdy and a cutting board, and let's get to it. Alright, so here we go. First things first, I'm gonna cut my butternut squash into two sections. Just cut the neck off. And then using my knife carefully, I'm gonna cut off the skin. I realize I'm wasting a lot of squash doing this, but one thing I'm definitely not wasting is time. So get off my back. I can always buy more squash, but I can never buy more time. So between my crummy peeler and my knife, I'm gonna get this sucker peeled. Oh, my hair was blocking the shot. Dang it. And then you're gonna cube the neck, then cut the base in half, scoop out the seeds, and then cube the base. Done! Alright, so once your squash is prepped and cut into 1 to 2 inch cubes, we're gonna toss it with a little bit of olive oil, about 1 to 2 tablespoons. Don't go overboard. Then we're gonna sprinkle it with some rosemary and thyme and a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm using dried rosemary and dried thyme. If you have fresh rosemary, maybe use just a couple sprigs. The stuff's pretty potent. But if you love rosemary, man, go for it. So from there, we're gonna just arrange it on a baking sheet. My baking sheet has foil on it because it's old and ugly. Don't let the cubes get too close together or stack on top of each other. Really try to spread them out as best you can. Otherwise, they won't roast. They'll steam. And we want them roasted. So put that into a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes, give or take. And then when they're about halfway done cooking, give them a good rotation. You know, stir it up a bit when they're about halfway done. Give them a little stirry stir. Give them a good switcheroo. Switch it up a bit. Let them have someone else to roast next to. Mix them up gently, gently. Don't be a jerk to your squash, okay? Treat your squash like a lady. Be gentle, and you'll know they're done when they're lightly golden in color and tender. I like to taste them to make sure. Alright, so while the squash is roasting, grab your saute pan and saute some onion. You're gonna use about 1 large onion, chopped. Otherwise, go for frozen. It works. So saute the onion until it's translucent, and then we're gonna add about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic and saute that for about a minute more. Be careful you don't burn your garlic. And when they're done, go ahead and just throw them into the same bowl that we prepped the butternut squash in. We like to keep it easy, one less thing to clean. This is the part that makes it taste really autumnal and delicious. Now I'll add about a tablespoon of ground sage. You can use poultry seasoning, that's perfect. Maybe do half a tablespoon of sage and half a tablespoon of poultry seasoning. You could be nuts, you could go crazy, be creative. But does it matter? Does anything matter? I don't know. Who knows? You do you. Color outside the lines, live your life. You do you. And give it a good stir. So if you don't know how to make quinoa, don't worry about it. I already made a video showing you how to do it. It's in the link below. Go ahead and watch that after this so you can catch up with us. And you know me, I've already got some quinoa that's ready to go, so I'm just gonna throw that in there and mix it all up. When the squash is done, you're going to gently add it to the quinoa mixture and fold it in. When you fold it in, that means you are folding the quinoa mixture over the squash. You're not stirring it up. We're not making baby food here. You don't want to mash it up. You want to keep the shape of the squash. Maintain the integrity of the squash. So fold it in gently. Treat your squash like a lady and she'll not only behave, but she'll taste good. So good. So good. Sorry. Alright, so after you've folded in the squash, go ahead and add some grated parmesan. I don't know how much I use, I just use it until it looks like I've used enough. But don't go crazy, it still has calories in it, and it has a lot of salt. If you want your dish to be vegan, don't add any parmesan, that's perfectly fine. You can also just add parmesan onto your plate when you serve it. And I'm also gonna add some red pepper flakes, because you know me, they're awesome. And that's it, you're done. You can add some thinly sliced green onion if you want, or chopped parsley for color, that's gorgeous. But honestly, like, whatever. This could be it, it's perfect, it's so good. This is so good, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. This is so good, you're gonna die. It's perfect. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I love you and I really appreciate it. Be sure to click like and share this video with your friends. Leave a comment. Let us know how you're feeling today. And if you're heading home for the holidays and you want to make something that doesn't cost a lot of money and will impress your family and friends, I definitely suggest you make this. And if you don't want to make it, but you want someone else to make it for you, share the video. And as always, click subscribe and come play. I'm trying to grow this channel and I want to continue to make fun content for you guys, so be sure to click subscribe and know that I really, really appreciate it. And check out my channel, there's all sorts of super fun stuff on there. I got lots of other recipes and cooking tips and health tips, beauty tips, DIYs, and life advice, where I'm hoping that you will learn from my mistakes. And click subscribe, it feels so good. So good. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much. It's all happening.